Hello, good evening. Welcome. My name is Obinda. Welcome. I want to share with you what I call when the day is thick and heavy. When the day is thick and heavy, what do you do? How do you handle difficult days, tough days, crazy days? Anybody who is engaged in what in our country we call private private sector, people who are engaged in business entrepreneurship, people who are engaged in a lot of activities. How do you handle the difficult days? Because every now and then there is a day that you least expect. You least expected. There's a day that early in the morning you get a bad call. You get some call somewhere that something is broken. And just about that time, you get another call to hear that, oh, this other person, something has happened to this one. The salaries did not go through. The creditors are looking for you. The boys are not working. Then you hear government agencies are looking for you. And then maybe your child is also going through something. Or maybe your mother, your parents, your friend. All in a day. There are days like that where it seems like everything is crashing. And they happen to everybody. They happen every now and then. Maybe every month you have one or two of such days where you just don't expect. You are early in the morning, maybe you have gotten up, you're reading your Bible, you're praying, and just around maybe 8 o'clock you hear, the calls start to come in. And just within 30 minutes, the day becomes very thick, becomes very happy, very, very heavy. You almost would call it a bad day. How do you handle that? Because your ability to handle such days is also critical. Because they seem to, sometimes if you are not thinking far, you think that every day is going to be like that. And so how do you handle that? I think usually if days happen like that, sometimes you just want to be at home and maybe sleep or rest. Because even if you're driving, you see that you're being bombarded from left and right. It's just one of those days. And so usually I think that when the day seems to happen like that, sometimes from maybe 8 to 12 to 2, it's still very thick. You don't know what to do. You just have to think that is one of those days, and that day will pass. The day will pass. So you don't have to project it into so much gloom or gloomy situation. You don't. There's a natural tendency for us, all of us, to think that it's going to be like that. It may not necessarily be like that. One call can make a whole day seem like it's a bad day. Then the next day, another call can come in, and that day will be a very bright day. A day happen like that. So it's not so much the bright days that we worry about. It's more of the days that we think are very heavy and very thick, and you seem to be crashing under pressure and under difficulties. Those days, how do you handle them? Because every day, I think, has about 24 hours. And so if it's a heavy day, you have got to endure it for the next maybe 24 hours. How do you carry yourself through? It's very much important. So when the day is tough, know that that day will by all means come to an end. And maybe tomorrow will be different. And so relax, relax and think maybe afar and think of previous days, previous tough, heavy days that happened that you didn't like, but how you endured them. Maybe last 3 years, last 4 years, there were similar days like that where you were expecting this payment, it didn't come. Then just about the time that payment didn't come, somebody else was waiting for their money. And then just around that time, maybe you are driving through town, you go and hit somebody's car. When they start to become a heavy day, when they start to become a bad day, they can come from everywhere. Relax. I think that when such days happen, relax. Relax. You are not God yet, there is a creator. There's somebody who made this earth and who's in charge. You are just one of those entities. When you are not around, the world will still move anyway. So when the day is heavy like that, I think that you should just clear your head, and relax. If you want to go and buy some drink, some water, maybe even go and just park the car somewhere and sleep. Because when the day is thick and you're also low in energy, you may do something that may not be good, that can have maybe long-term effect on you. When you're exhausted and the pressure is coming like that, maybe you didn't sleep that much and then you got up in the morning, the pressure is coming like that, your energy is low. I think that when the day is heavy, just go and rest. Forget about what everybody will say. Forget about even what your workers will say. Rest. Because if you lose it, the team will lose it. If you get into a serious accident because you're exhausted and you didn't rest, and because the pressure was coming, the business may suffer. So when it is heavy like that, relax. Relax. Sometimes you may just decide, say, no, I'm not even going anywhere. I want to sleep. I want to be at home. Maybe I want to take a book and read. I want to watch some movie. Maybe I want to listen to some preaching or somewhere. Something like that, just to clear your head, because it's heavy. You didn't expect that. And they do happen every now and then. Disappointments, they just come like that. And sometimes you can have about 5, 10 of them just like that. That's the point where when somebody innocently, when someone who has no clue what is happening, what you're going through, comes to you, and they may not even have any idea. They just genuinely showing interest or bringing their concerns. If you don't take care, you may escalate. You may explode because something else is happening, not necessarily what the person brought. So, if it's heavy, if it's thick, relax and see that it's just one of those days that will pass. A lot of the Christians will say it's a devil. It's not devil. It's just one of those days that things did not work out. And if you have that tendency to be a bit, paranoid and negative and pessimistic, you may link whatever is happening to a lot of things that may not even be in the equation. So keep a positive outlook when the day is heavy. Have the mindset that tomorrow will be different. And whatever comes, you'll be ready to deal with it. But if somebody is dishonest in that day and trying to take advantage of you, that one you have to fight back. That one, because one thing that I know is that if you put up with somebody who's trying to use your weakness, your tough moment to take advantage of you, that one you cannot go to sleep. You have to fight. If somebody comes to create a scenario that it does not exist, and he wants to extort something from you, those people, you have to fight them, even if it's a tough day. You have to fight back because they may create some problems for you. So relax. Sometimes you may just call a friend that you call maybe yes, just chat on phone, or maybe you can just pass by his house, his office, and just relax. Because people who do business, people who are a bit more engaged, sometimes, they stretch. They stretch. I don't think the stretching will kill you, but if the day is heavy like that, then you have to know how to handle the day. And sometimes you just also have to be uh, a bit more appreciative of what you have also accomplished. Even if you have not accomplished anything, you're not dead yet, you're still fighting. And that, for me, is also something you're developing within, because you're becoming strong, you're becoming better. You're developing skill, you're developing yourself, you're growing, you're maturing. That is also an achievement. So when the day is rough, sometimes you may link that difficulty. Some people regret because the day is rough. That day, when the day is thick and heavy, that's where you start to think. Black, they begin to shout, begin shouting, my Lord, why have you forsaken me? There's nobody has nobody, just a crazy day, it's just one of those days. The other day it happened like that. You got up in the morning, these people were calling, then another person was calling, then another person was canceling something. They just come. But if you enjoy that, the next day you hear another call that changes the whole narratives and the whole perspective. Why? Because each day and what they carry. And don't forget, every day will bring their own trouble anyway. So one of the things that you probably would have to learn, and one of the things that I try to learn is, is life. So you don't have to carry every problem like that and worry. Solve the ones that you have to solve, and the ones that you can't solve, you see what you can do. You cannot just crush yourself like that, because some people will crush themselves. Some people will just, they want to solve everything. Yes, you want to be an achiever, you're an achiever, you're on the go, you're effective, you're organized, you want to do everything, yes, but not everything is also within your reach. Some things, it's like driving, you be very careful driving, you are going, and there's some crazy boy somewhere who will just lose the brake, would want to crash, want to crash you, or would want to kill you. You are careful. You're following the rules. You're following the signage on the road and everything. Then you see that somebody loses the brake and is facing you. Some things can happen which may not necessarily be within your control. So when somebody is pulling straight somewhere and makes the day look like, what am I going to do? That's not the time to curse yourself. That's not the time to blame anybody. Because sometimes when things happen like that, we try to blame people and say that, why did you do this? It's a day, it's a bad day. It didn't come 1, maybe 10. And sometimes when it happens like that, you go to meet some of those people in the offices, you want to fight them and crush them. Especially those who are trying to extort or take advantage of you. I mean, it happens like that. If I go somewhere and I see that somebody is just trying to use a very clean situation to take advantage of me, I explode. Especially those who work with the government, some of these government institutions who can come around and threaten you, those kind of people, maybe the institutions, maybe AMA or Senate or some people like that, when somebody wants to just take an advantage to extort something from that one, because you're already going through some crazy things and you don't like, So when they come out like that, you have to be very tough and also show that you are not that weak. It's one thing to be nice. You have to be nice. You have to be nice, but you don't have to be. You don't have to allow yourself for people to just take advantage and crush you like that. So it's a bad day, but it's not a bad life. Yes, it's true. If you aggregate your whole life, you see that it's not that bad. Most people who are trying to push themselves to become better, on a whole, will have a better life than those who don't push anything at all. So if one day is not good, it's just one day which you even think is no good. I would think it's no good day. It's not so heavy. Steak, is it going to come to an end? I don't know, but it will come. By all means, it will come to an end, and then you go to sleep, and you wake up the next morning. You have fresh energy, you have fresh perspective, you have fresh outlook of life, and you keep, because you cannot lose your confidence for the future. You cannot lose the hope for the future. You cannot lose that optimism for the future. You need that. It's the fuel. So if someday is difficult, if somebody came to dupe you, it's a bad day. Somebody, maybe came to take your girlfriend, it's a bad day. Somebody who came to lie to you, it's a bad day. But another day will come. Another day will come. So don't lose your focus because the day is thick. Because one of the things that business people, entrepreneurs always go through is that there will always be that day. Always. Maybe in a year you can have about 10 of them. They will just be coming like that. And if you're light, if you're light, if you're not stable, then you become light. You behave like what am I doing? No, don't curse yourself. It's just one of those days. Even if you lose the contract. Because some days you will lose the contract and the other one they are threatening you, and the other one the payment did not come, and we have gone through a lot of those days severally, so many days. Sometimes it's not even just a day that is bad, sometimes it's a whole week that is bad. And you look around and there's no anything coming anywhere as you can project. But that is why it takes strength to endure those days that are not so good. We will say not so good. They may not necessarily be, the days in themselves may not necessarily be not so good. Just that the activities that are happening in the day may not be so good. Maybe somebody will just even take you to court, sue you, or somebody change the document. Those things happen. And it's life. And don't forget, human beings, life, as a matter of fact, they say it's a jungle. Don't forget that. There are good people, there are bad people, there are wicked people who want to take advantage of you all the time. Life is like that. So don't let that day spoil you. Have a schedule. If you see that it's heavy like that, have a schedule. Maybe go and buy some orange somewhere and see what happens. Or maybe go and buy some fufu somewhere and eat. What? 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 What at all? Don't worry. Never worry. Fight the ones that you have to fight. Don't just push the problem under the carpet, as they say. Fight. But if you fight and you didn't win that day, it's just a day. It will pass. The next day will come. The next day will come. Do you know why the politicians especially enjoy the scandals in the newspapers? Because they know that the next heavy story will come. So if their story is today, yes, they will, you know, they are human. They will feel bad and everything. But they know that another story will come and theirs will be forgotten. Because the newspapers, they have to have story every day, you know. Who told them to do the news 24 hours? How can you get news 24 hours every time you want to mention something? By all means, you'll be lying. It's the money. So whatever is heavy that people will be interested in, they'll put it out there. So if your case comes, you know, and they put it out there, just remember that there will be another person's story. So yours will just fade away like that. You know, so you will do. Don't worry. This year, how many scandals have you not heard? And every week there's something that is happening somewhere around. You know, so it's like that. So if the day is not good, don't break down. Don't break down. It's one of the skills that you must have, because there will always be someday that sometimes you have money, but the problem that may come, money may not be able to solve that. Sometimes it's a money problem. You know, so it's not, you know, there are days we have money, but the things that came that made the day heavy may not be even money. You have the money in the bank, but it's not money problem. It's a whole different thing. Sometimes too, it's a money problem, you know. So just like that. And there's something about life is that when you're going through something like that, a lot of people are very insensitive as to what people go through. Don't forget that. Most people come close because of what they will get, you know. So majority of the people just think of themselves. It's just what will interest them. So even if they see that you are going through something, they still want to bring their interest, not yours. They are not there to cover you. They are there to cover themselves, you know. So don't kill yourself like that. Don't break down. Don't just go to sleep, buy some kinky, eat, and see what happens. Because another day will come. It's a continuous fight. You know, the business life is a continuous fight. If you want to achieve something, it's a continuous fight. And so when days that is they are heavy, it's one of those days. One of those days. My strategy will be maybe you just play some, you know, music. If you're a Christian, you know, pick your Bible and read or something like that. You read some story that will encourage you. But don't expect God to fight for you. That's one thing about the Christians. They say, man, God will fight for me. God is not fighting for anybody. You have to go and do your fight. Say, God will fight for me. God will make a way for me. Yeah, my friend. Go and sit down and plan it and see the strategy that you have. You know, you develop. You become better. If you want to change anything in your life, the amount of time that you spend to acquire the necessary skills that to improve that thing, I think far more, you know, it works far better than the people who are crying to God to solve it for them. You know, so if I have difficult days, I don't think that is anything. I think that is one of those things that crashing, they will fade away. I'm not going to worry so much and think that God, I'm not going to worry God about this. It's just one of those days. The next day will come and it will be a good day. You know, it will be a good day. But then you have to be buoyant, you have to be strong, and you don't have to be crushed. And you don't have to share like that, you know. Some people, you call them, Jerry, how are you? Yeah, today is too difficult. I don't know what to do. No. You don't have to be using those words. It's so difficult, you know. Maybe when you're starting off like that, you could be saying those. But it comes to a point you have to just be strong to say that this is part of the game. This is part of the lifestyle. There will be days that will be difficult. There will be days that things will not just go through as expected. So I still have to keep my head up and be strong and just keep going. Because there are days that will be like that. The day that you saw that your friend has been lying to you all the time. The day that you saw that that manager that you put there has been stealing all the time. The day that you saw that they've been telling you lies all the time. Those days will be difficult days for you. You will feel like you've been betrayed. You'll be disappointed. You believe the wrong people. Those activities will make the days thick. But don't forget, there will be another day where you hear good story and you feel like, this is the best day of my life. It's the best day of your life, no problem. Another month will come. One of those bad days will still show up because it's like that, And so it's more of your thinking as to how you describe a particular day and how you develop yourself to enjoy those days that you think are not so much good. Because your ability to handle those days are very much critical to even your health, to your being, sometimes even to your finances. Because if the day is that difficult and everybody is pressing, you may use the money wrongly. And sometimes they have to also, you have to also keep yourself, because the pressure can also affect what you do at home. The pressure is coming from the business. So if you don't take care, you bring the same pressure on your children because you don't know how to handle the tough days. So when you come home and they ask you a question, you get angry because you're not able to handle the pressure. You've not been able to separate. It grows. Well, as you grow, as you develop yourself, that is, if you want to, you will see that these things they real okay. They go and come like that. They want to go and come. So if they show up, just know that this one has shown up, ready to go. So you just focus on the main things, the things that will bring growth, the things that will bring productivity, the things that will expand the things that you're doing, the business that you're doing. I know that it's just a bad day, and tomorrow will come. So my name is Kwabena. I am talking about how to handle the thick days, the heavy days. There are days that when you get up, it's raining or it's shining, but the things that you are hearing in that day, the phone calls that are coming, the emails that are coming, the people that are visiting, the things that you're hearing, they make the day look so thick, and you would want to call those days even a bad day. You would want to call them like that. And I think that they happen every now and then. They happen like that. But keep your head up. Keep your head up. You are not God. That is what you have to understand. And so you do what is expected of you to do, and you don't have to lose your confidence and your momentum. You have to be confident. You have to be stable. And if you're pushing and it's not going, go and get some fufu and eat. Go and get some kelewele. Go and get some waje. Call some friend. Go and maybe watch some football somewhere. Pick a book and read. Maybe go to church or something like that. Let the day pass. After what? Sometimes some people even put off their phone just to clear their head. Because the things that are coming, they think that they are so heavy. You don't have to break down when those days are coming. You just have to also think of yourself and see what you can do. But relax. So sleep, rest. The day will pass. That day, it's not going to be the next day. You see, when somebody so dear to you passes, dies, it's like when you hear that news at that point, it's so painful. But after 1 week, 2 weeks, the pain will start to come down. Why? Because that's how the human being, at least the Creator, has structured us. So it's a tough day, but tomorrow it will be a different day. And sometimes the days that you thought were tough, and the payments that didn't come, the things that didn't show up, sometimes those things may even end up becoming good things. There are contracts that you didn't get, and after years you look back and say, it was good I didn't get that contract. I don't know, but some things are taken from you, but who, I don't know. But sometimes you look back and say, it was so good that we didn't do that. It was so good that we didn't take that money. It was so good that they didn't give us that platform. It was so good that they did not give us that money. It was so good that they disappointed us. We became better. Because the advantage of life, is the pain. The guys who have experienced a lot of difficulties, those are the ones who have leverage in this life. Go and check. Most of the things that you have done, you have done them out of the toughness that you endure. Because they built you, they built your skill, they built your strength. So the tough days, they're like that. So they may not after all be that bad as they have programmers to believe. So, but don't let anybody take advantage of you, as I said, and fight back. If somebody wants to use the bad, sometimes some people create the bad things, not that because some people, instead of them paying you, he's asking for money before you pay. That one, go and fight. You can't sit down and say that God will do it. You don't know. The person must pay you. You have worked. They have to pay you. He's asking for something. You are not agreeing, and it's frustrating. That one, go and fight. Go and tell them what you think. And if you are angry, it is okay to be angry. I don't think you have to apologize for somebody who wants to cheat you. You don't have to apologize to anybody who wants to take advantage of you. You have to fight back. Somebody you have worked and the person wants to pay you and is trying to play games and tricks. That one, go and fight. If you have to put your fingers in their eyes, go and do something crazy. Because if you don't do that, the people cheat people they think are weak. People take people for granted. The people they think will not fight back. They know if they know you're crazy and they will fight, you fight back. Next time they will sit up, because sometimes the difficulties were created by people who were just making decisions for their self-interest. And those guys, you let them understand that you cannot be treated like that. So you don't accept that. You don't have to worry about what the dishonest thinks. What you have to worry about is what a good man, a trustworthy man thinks of you. But the wicked and the dishonest, I don't really care what they think. Anybody who is dishonest and who is ungrateful and untrustworthy, I don't really care about what they think. I really care about the one who is trustworthy, who is honest, who is a good person. I care about what they say, what they do, so that I can correct and improve my decisions and choices. But if the other guy is not good, that one go and fight. Because sometimes all that you are sitting at home crying that someone is because that person is evil. That you have to go and fight them. You have to sit down. Maybe you sent application, some job somewhere, and they are frustrating you. Go and fight. That one is not anything. Just go and tell them that, listen, I've seen what you're doing. You are demanding money, and it is not the right way to do it. Just like that. Because a lot of people are weak, not just because the day is rough, but because they can't fight back. And if you can't fight back, life will be tough. Life will be tough if you cannot fight back. If you want everybody to think that you're a very nice person, good person, lovely person, even the wicked will take advantage of you. No, you're a good person, you're a kind person, but don't let the one who wants to cheat you like that. Fight back. So there could be days that will be rough. And so you look at the network of people that you have to, and see who amongst them is having your interest that much at heart. Because when you are going through a lot of difficulties in a day, there's always somebody in your life. There is always somebody, at least one person, who genuinely cares about you. There's always, and it's a blessing to always have somebody like that who is in your life, who cares and who thinks about you and who is ready to even replace their life if there is a danger with yours. So you look for those people, and because sometimes it's your mind that is telling you that all these things are crashing. If you talk to somebody who's genuinely interested in you, they'll be able to tell you that not everything is crashing like that. And they draw your attention to other things that are good, that are happening. Because at the same time that you think things are very, going badly, there are other things that may be going rightly with you. So don't fight back. Fight back if you have to fight back, but don't kill yourself. Don't weep so much. Don't become so much disappointed. It's part of life. It's business. It's life. So somebody promised you've been chasing that contract for 3 years, and you heard that they didn't give you that contract. They gave it to another person. Change your approach. Change your system. Change your strategy, and go and look for a better one. So thank you very much for watching. So deal with the bad days, the ones that you would call bad days. Deal with them. Look at them. Sometimes you have to just relax. Sometimes you have to fight back. Sometimes you just have to get some nice people to talk to. Sometimes you just have to know that this day will come to close. It's not 30 hours to be 24 hours. So when you feel like they have disappointed you, they have lied to you, it will come to an end. When the other person lies to you, somebody else will protect you, somebody else will be honest with you. You know, maybe your workers, they team up and they screwed you and they quit the job and it was gloomy. It doesn't matter. There will be other people who will come and work with you. And sometimes those who go and those who come in, what I've seen is that those who come in usually are better than those who didn't want to be with you. Who didn't want to be with you. So 100 those days, they will come every now and then. They will come. They will come. And so your ability to handle those days will play a major part because it is life. It is life. Some days will be crazy. And don't let anybody use those crazy days to take advantage of you, especially the religious ones that we have in our country. Every bad thing is the devil. Not every bad thing is the devil. Sometimes, if the child is growing and the teeth is going, it's not the devil, it's just natural process. You know, the child is learning how to walk and they fall down. It's not the devil, it's part of the process. So not everybody and not everything is as evil. A lot of the things that a lot of the pains that people go through, you go through because it's part of the process. We are learning, you're maturing. You know, so when the day is tough, just pick yourself. And always you need that confidence that the future will be different. You need that boldness, you need that ability to see the good ahead. You need that. You cannot just see all the negatives, all the bad things. You can't just program your mind, and you have to also look behind and see what you have achieved and let them fuel where you're going. And surround yourself with good people. Surround yourself with good people, people who talk to get you up. There are people who you talk to, and by the time you finish talking to, you're weak. And there are people you talk to, and by the time you talk to, you're alive. Those are the people that you talk to when the days are heavy, when the day is very thick. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you.